Hello, friends. Welcome back to English Classes Online. My name is Benjamin. Today's video is on the step-by-step process for writing a formal letter in the West African Senior School Certificate Examination and National Examinations Council Senior School Certificate Examinations, and of course in any other equivalent senior school certificate examination. All right, whenever you are going to sit for an English exam at this level, you'll be required to write a letter or any other type of essay. So it is important for you to learn how to do it well. And in this video, I'm going to show you the step-by-step process for writing a formal letter, a good and high-scoring formal letter. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever I upload a new video on the channel, you will be instantly notified. Without much ado, let's dive into the lesson. What is a formal letter? Of course, a formal letter is simply an official letter. It's a letter you write to someone who occupies an official position to get something done or to achieve a specific result. All right? It could be an application letter when you want to secure a job, or a letter of complaint if you want to complain about something and ask for redress, or it could be a letter that is requesting for any other kind of action. All right. So that is what a formal letter is. So now let's look at the features of a formal letter. A formal letter begins with the writer's address and date. So you write your address and your date. I am going to show you the specific position where you will write your address and date. Then the next thing will be the designation. All right. The first is your address and date, followed by the designation and full address of the person you are writing to. Because you are writing to somebody who occupies an official position, such as a minister, the official designation is minister. Or if it is the chairman, then you can write the chairman. All right. If he is the chairman of the local government or a commissioner for this and that, you simply write the designation. The designation is the official title the person bears. And then this is followed by the address, the full address. Then the next feature is the salutation or greetings. And there are two options, either dear sir or dear madam, depending on the gender of the addressee. Number 4, you have the title of the letter, for example, application for the post of a sales manager. All right. Or it could be, the problems of education in the country. Or it could be the causes of road accidents. All right. Or factors responsible for the increasing incidence of road accident. Now, whatever is the subject of that letter, then you write it. That's the title, the topic. All right. Then number 5, we have, of course, we have seen this. We have also seen the title. And then the next one is the message or the body of the letter. This is usually, divided divided into three. You have the introduction, which is the first paragraph, followed by the body of the letter, which begins from the second paragraph and probably will consist of paragraphs 2, 3, and 4, as the case may be. And then you have the last paragraph, which will be the concluding paragraph. All right, so after the message or body, then you have the subscription or the complementary clause. And for a formal letter in this type of exam, it's advisable you simply use yours faithfully. All right, that's normally the right option. All right, simply write yours faithfully. Okay, that's the appropriate closing. Complementary clause for a formal letter. All right. Then you look at then number 7, we have your signature. For a formal letter, you need to sign your signature. And after that, you should have your full name, which is surname followed by the first name. And then if you are writing the letter in your capacity as, you are occupying an official position. For instance, you are the secretary of the Literary and Debating Society in your school, or you are writing a complaints letter on behalf of a community or a community association or union. So then you write your position. For example, if you are representing a society, a club, or an organization, if you are the president, you write your official title, your official position. All right, so these are the features. Now, I want to take you to the practical aspect of it. So we are going to look at a particular past why question, and then I'll show you how the step-by-step process for actually writing the letter. All right. So that's exactly what we are going to look at. That's what we are going to look at right now. So here we are illustrating how to write a formal letter. And the past question we want to look at is the West African Senior School Certificate Examination of June 2000. Question is, all right, let's look at the question. So you can see the question we are going to treat. Write a letter to the director of the Environmental Protection Agency in your country complaining about environmental pollution of your area and requesting that urgent action be taken to improve the situation. All right, so now the first thing you look at here, now we begin with the address. All right, so we begin with the address. And so here you look at the address here. All right, this is the address. And this is the date, okay? So 10 Rabiu Street, Ojo, Lagos State, May 2021. Now you have to take note of the fact that, this is well punctuated. And then you look at the date, you find a comma after the day, all right? Then after the year, you put a full stop. In that of the address, the various locations, we have a comma after each line. Then when the address is ended, you put a full stop. Now you can see that this is the writer's full, the receiver's full designation, and the receiver's official designation and full address. So we are asked to write a letter to the director, and of course, you know, that is what makes it a formal letter, because we are writing to the director. The director is not his personal name, but it is his official title, because he occupies that office, the office of the director. So that makes it a formal letter. So here we come up with his designation, the director, then followed by, you know, the full address. The address here is Environmental Protection Agency, PMB 500, Gariki, Abuja. All right, so after this, what do we have next? Then, of course, let's wipe this so that we won't be confused by this. All right. Okay, let's wipe all this. Okay, so here we are. So then you can see, dear sir, that exactly is the salutation. All right, salutation, dear sir. I told you it's either dear sir or dear madam. So now we have chosen to write dear sir here. After that, there is a comma here. Now, this is the title or the topic or the heading, if you like. All right. Now, this is what we are asked to write about. We are to discuss the environmental pollution in our area. Then we name our area Ojo, and then we come up with this heading, environmental pollution in Ojo. All right, so you can see this. That is exactly the way to write it. Now, having said that, then what comes next is the introduction, which is the first paragraph. Now, the introductory paragraph is made up of certain essential ingredients, which I would like to discuss with you here. Now, number one, the number one is the subject matter. All right, that's exactly what the letter is about. That is the first thing that introductory paragraph should contain. Then after the subject matter, then of course, we have the thesis. The thesis is the main idea, the central message. I mean, the main idea or the viewpoint, if you like, the writer's viewpoint. That's the main idea, what exactly the writer is talking about in this letter. A thesis or a thesis statement is usually made up of a single sentence or perhaps a few sentences interrelated. But in most cases, it's always good to capture your thesis in one sentence. Then after the thesis, then we have what we call enumeration. Enumeration is the list of points that you are going to discuss in your letter. In the WAEC English exam, you are usually asked to discuss at least 3 main points, all right, in any essay or letter you are going to write. So when you are creating your outline, you jot down these points, and then you summarize them in your first paragraph. And then number 4 ingredients is what we call intro. All right, it's not compulsory that all these 4 ingredients have to be there, at least, but there are some that are, very important, especially the subject matter and the thesis. You can't do without them. The other ones are optional. All right, but I always advise my students to ensure that the first paragraph is written very, very well. So you make sure you develop it adequately, because the person who is going to mark your script may not have all the time to read everything you have written. Some examiners might be satisfied when they read your first paragraph and probably look at the first sentence of every other paragraph, and then read your concluding paragraph. So you should be able to convince the examiner or the marker in your first paragraph. All right, so that's the way it is. All right, so having said this, let's now proceed. Now you can see the first sentence here. I wish to draw your attention to the environmental pollution that is threatening the health of the people in my area, Ojo, in Lagos State. This is the subject matter. And it's always important that you begin with it, because that shows you are obeying instruction. The examiner has actually asked you to write a letter to the director of the Environmental Protection Agency, complaining about the pollution of your area. So that is the subject matter. And so you begin with it. And you can see the way we have put it here. All right. I write to, that is exactly here. Okay. I wish to draw your attention, or I write to draw your attention to the environmental pollution that is threatening the health of the people in my area of Ojo in Lagos State. Of course, there are no hard and fast rules as to the particular thing, the way you construct your sentence. Of course, you can approach it from any angle, only you have to ensure that the sentence you are writing is grammatically correct. You can say, I wish to inform you about, all right? So that is really, it has to do with the choice of words. Then this, of course, is the thesis. There are a number of factors responsible for the pollution in the area, and I believe that examining them will enable us to find the right solution to the problem. Now, this is your thesis. What your thesis does is that it helps you to narrow the topic to a manageable, or a manageable scope. You are not going to write everything about environmental pollution. All right, there are a number of things you can say about the environmental pollution, but you have chosen to examine the factors responsible, and then be able to find a solution. That is your thesis. Then this is followed by the enumeration, as I earlier mentioned. The enumeration is simply a list of the points you are going to discuss. Okay, so let's look at the enumeration here. You can say the most critical of these factors are lack of a proper system of refuse and waste disposal, lack of drainage channels, air pollution owing to uncontrolled smoke and fumes from the factories and residential houses. This is the enumeration, all right? You have listed the points that you want to discuss, which are the factors responsible for the pollution. All right, having done this, the next thing you need is simply the intro, which is to write something that will usher the reader neatly into the next paragraph. So here, this is our intro. In the following paragraphs, I will discuss these factors one by one and also suggest ways of remedying the ugly situation. This is the intro. Now, once you get to the body of the letter, what do? You pick the first point. When you look at our enumeration here, the first point is lack of proper system of refuse and waste disposal. So we discuss that in our second paragraph, and we can begin with a topic sentence. We can say first of all, or we can say to start with, or we can say first, all right? So here we choose to say to start with, there is no proper system of refuse and waste disposal in the area. Now, this is the topic sentence, all right? This is the topic sentence for paragraph 2. Of course, not even paragraph 1. This is paragraph 2, all right? This is paragraph 2. So, because this is the first point, and then we are discussing this first point in paragraph 2. So this is the topic sentence for paragraph 2. Now, once we have stated the topic sentence, and by the way, the topic sentence is a sentence that contains the main idea we want to talk about in a particular paragraph. All right, so having stated it, we will just explain it. We will give evidence to prove that what we have said is true. We have said there is no proper system of refuse and waste disposal in the area. What is the evidence? We now say, as a result, people dump their refuse and waste materials on the streets and in the gutters. You can see this is the outcome and also the evidence. If you come to the area, you will discover that people are dumping their refuse and waste materials on the streets and in the gutters because there is no proper system of refuse and waste disposal in the area. Then we go ahead. The situation is such that all the nooks and crannies of the area are littered with refuse, and this constitutes serious danger to health. You see, you have been able to discuss this quite clearly, and you have developed it. So you go to the next. And in the next one, you take the second point in your enumeration. And so here you are saying, another problem is that the gutters and canals in the area are always filled with filth owing to the fact that there are no proper drainage channels. You see, first of all, you have talked of the system of refuse and waste disposal. Now you are talking of drainage channels. And so this is the topic sentence for paragraph 3. This is for paragraph 3. All right. So now let's move ahead. Once you have stated your topic sentence, all right, then the next thing is for you to provide evidence. Then you say, apart from giving out stinking and offensive odor, these filthy gutters, canals, and other stagnant pools of water in the various parts of the community are breeding places for mosquitoes and larvae, which expose the people to the attack of malaria and other disease-causing bacteria and viruses. Now, you are now linking, you are stating the effect, and you are now saying how this affects the health of the people in the area. Then in the next paragraph, which is going to be paragraph 4, all right, which is going to be paragraph 4, not paragraph 3 now. Then again, we begin with the topic sentence, and we are taking the third point in our enumeration. And we say the problem is even compounded by the serious pollution of the air with clouds of smoke and fumes coming from some factories in the area, coupled with the generators in houses, shops, and offices, which also constantly fill the air with exhaust fumes. Now, this is your topic sentence for paragraph 4. And then to actually drive home the message, how does this constitute a health problem? You simply say this is detrimental to the lives of the people. All right, now you have discussed the, the causes, the factors responsible. Now you want to devote a paragraph to discussing the remedies. So you say to remedy this ugly situation, the State Disposal Board should get its agents in the area to wake up and do their job of clearing the town of refuse. All right. So this is your first point. And you need to understand that point one, recommendation one, has to be the solution you provide to the first factor that causes this pollution. Then you say, alternatively, they can partner with private companies to ensure serious commitment to the job. Then the second point, the government must construct proper drainage channels to ensure that gutters and canals are regularly drained. You see, this is second recommendation, which is a solution to the second factor or the second cause of the pollution. All right, so moving forward, we look at the, the, the third recommendation, which is a solution to the third factor responsible for the pollution. And we say factories should be compelled to have well-constructed chimneys, while private houses and shops should be compelled to use pipes or devices to ensure that the smokes or fumes from their generators are carried up away from the people within the vicinity. All right, so you have now discussed the recommendation, and then comes the conclusion. Now, the conclusion should be to emphasize everything you have said or to make a definite call for action on the part of the authorities. And here, this is what we are saying here. I believe that if the above recommendations are looked into and properly implemented, the problem of environmental pollution in Ojo will be solved to the relief of all the residents. Okay, so that is exactly your conclusion, and then you say thanks, or you say thank you. Now, this actually is the subscription or the complimentary closing, and so here you write yours faithfully. Note that yours begins with a capital letter Y, while faithfully just begins with a small letter F. Some people begin this with capital letter F, and they will lose half a mark when the examiner spots the error. So ensure that you write it exactly like this. Now, a comma should come after faithfully. And then the next thing is the signature. So here, all you need to do is to come here and then sign your signature, whatever may be your signature, you sign it here, and then after your signature comes your full name, Okon Regina, all right? Then you make sure you end it with a full stop. So this is exactly how to write a formal letter. We have gone through the process, and I hope you have been able to actually learn a lesson on how this is done. Okay, so this is how it has been in today's video. If you, well, let me go here and make sure I wipe this. Let me get the annotation. So The eraser enables us to erase this, and then we do away with this. So now this is where we are going to draw the curtain in today's video. We have been looking at the step-by-step process for writing a formal letter in the West African Senior School Certificate Examination, National Examinations Council Senior School Certificate Examination, and any other equivalent English exam. Now, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you like the video and share the video with your friends and relations. If you have not subscribed to the channel, the time has come for you to hit the subscribe button below and ensure you subscribe to the channel, because on this channel we discuss very important topics and we provide value. Now, you also need to click on the notification bell. You will find the bell icon, and you just click on it to ensure that when the next video goes live on this channel, you will be notified instantly. I want to thank you for being part of today's episode. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Make sure you check the description section. You will find related videos, quite a number of videos that will help you to gain your proficiency in English, in the English language. If you want to perfect your writing skills, you will find a number of writing skill topics there. If you want to learn grammar, you will find a lot of topics there. If you want to learn orals, oral English, you know, how to articulate English sounds correctly, whether it is stress, whether it is intonation, whatever it is, all the topics are there in the description section. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye bye for now and remain blessed.